Thank you for joining Fast Track Your Business with Fuso, hosted by Mitsubishi Fuso, Biscay Startup Bay, and Fukuoka City Global Startup Center. I'm Akiko from Fukuoka City Global Startup Center. I'll be today's MC, and I'm with Mumu, the Director of Global Startup Center, Yoshi, and Shun. Before we start the event, I would like to ask one thing. Keep your microphone mute and turn off your video during the event. So, before sharing today's agenda, please check the chat box. We will post the link. We post the link for the feedback form of today's event. So please fill it in before you leave. Feel free to use the chat box to ask any questions during the event. The only we ask is please put the word question at the beginning of your inquiry in the message and before sharing it. Also, this chat box can be used for networking. So if you want to PR your project to all the participants, please put PR on the top of your message. If you are interested in sending PR messages, please communicate directly to the party you are interested in. Let me start with sharing today's rundown briefly. So firstly, we'll explain general information of Fukuoka City Global Startup Center. Biscay Startup Bay will introduce the startup ecosystem in Biscay. Then Mitsubishi Fuso will give a short introduction of their startup support program. After the introduction of the host, the main pitching session will follow. Today, we'll have 4 innovative startups from Biscay. Each startup will have 15 minutes for their session, 10 minutes to pitch, and rest of time will be Q&A session. Audience members can also ask questions in chat box, and we can ask them to the startups if time allows. So I would like to start with the introduction of Global Startup Center. Fukuoka City Global Startup Center is run by the city government, and we are the contact window and executive unit for foreign entrepreneurs and startups. Our motto is a part of your team. Once you contact us, we are your first team member in Japan. We work with you. We execute projects together, even more, sometimes do tasks on behalf of you. As you can see, our services are very wide range and available at any stage of your business. What I like to emphasize here is our unique business matching. We have strong connection with not only the startups, but also big companies. Moreover, we have good relationship with the local government and public organization as well. So we can arrange very specific business matching, not just introducing each other. And these business matching services are available for any startup. That means even you are in Biscay in Spain, without having a company here in Japan, moreover, without coming to Japan, we are happy to offer our networks to find your potential partners. Let me introduce some of merits of starting business from Fukuoka when you expand your business in the Japanese market. The first point is safety. Unlike the main big cities in Japan, like Tokyo and Osaka, Fukuoka City is located on the side of Japan Sea, and we have less earthquakes, which means we could say our location is safer than such big cities geographically. That's why big companies have data centers in Fukuoka. The second point is our location. Another geographic advantage is the close distance with neighbor countries. Once you set up the business here, you have the market not only in Japan, it can be extended to Korea, Taiwan, and China. When you fly to Tokyo from Fukuoka, it takes about 2 hours. We can fly to Korea, Shanghai, Taipei as well. Fukuoka can be the gateway to Asian market. Next advantage is our startup ecosystem. Fukuoka is gradually known as the most popular startup city in Japan, since we have been building our unique startup ecosystem for 10 years. We have many support for startups, and you can find them once you visit our startup hub called Fukuoka Growth Next. It's where Global Startup Center is located. Fukuoka City has a project that supports implementations of POC in the city. The last point should be the compactness. Compared to the big cities, Fukuoka is of course smaller. However, this is the big advantage of us. It's not crowded, less competitive, and because of that, we have strong communities. Once you get into the community, it's easier to make new networks. Another point should be the cheap living cost compared to the other big cities. It's important for startups to save your living costs so that you can spend more for developing your business. So here you can see how compact our city is. 10 minutes from airport to city center by subway. And the important city function is centralized within 5 kilometers, and the city is surrounded by rich nature and beaches and mountains. I would like to remark this point as well. We are currently selected by the Japanese government as one of the candidate cities for competing to become Japan's next international financial center. The Japanese government is aware of not only our achievement in the startup field, but also the potential as global city. Fukuoka City has 15 partner institutions in 11 countries. We signed MOU to provide mutual support for startups in the region. However, the MOU doesn't limit our support. We are open to collaborate with organizations outside of MOU agreements. So we are happy to have this kind of event with Biscay Startup Bay and Fuso. So let me briefly introduce about startup visa. When you live in Japan doing business, you need to have a business manager visa. And there are some requirements to get the visa. However, it's very difficult to fulfill the requirement from outside of Japan. Startup visa is a 6 months to 1 year residence permit to settle down to prepare such conditions and to make sure whether Fukuoka is the right place to start your business before you invest. The main criteria of the startup visa are innovativeness and feasibility. The contact window for the application is Global Startup Center, so we can help you to brush up your business plan, and the city government will do the screening and make the final decisions. After the startup visa, most of the entrepreneurs convert them to business manager visa. Let me introduce some projects. So we have a Canadian startup. They use 3D scan technology to offer the experience of mixed reality. They had collaborations with Fukuoka City Museum already. And Smarty is a Chinese startup that developing smart chips with AI voice recognition that enable IoT without Bluetooth nor Wi-Fi. Their business is quite well, and they just opened a branch in China. So now let me introduce our business matching as well. But DeskMe is a Finnish startup to develop desk reservation system for co-working space and offices. With these services, you can easily find working desks and meeting rooms in your office on your smartphone. We connected DeskMe with JR Kyushu, the railway company. We introduced DeskMe when they opened a new co-working space in Hakata Station, which is the Fukuoka City's main entrance station. Not only introducing, we supported initial setting on behalf of DeskMe. and this co-working space installed the system as a POC. After the collaboration with Q, we also connected with another co-working space in Tokyo called Kickspace Haneda. They just introduced DeskMe to their facility last month. DeskMe is gaining local feedback and network through this POC. The next case is Siren. Siren is a startup from Estonia. We got to know with Siren in the Fukuoka's online event 2020. Siren is manufacturing small booth offices with the best sound reduction technology. We connected them with a potential partner that is one of the largest office furniture companies in Japan. Actually, this company has similar products as Siren. However, the demand for such small offices is getting high in Japan. Therefore, we propose them to have Siren as another product line. Then the company agreed to purchase samples from Siren, and moreover, they showed more interest in collaboration after seeing their samples. They just signed an NDA for further collaborations. So as you can see, Fukuoka is a place you can start easy and start fast. If you're interested in business expansion in the Japanese market, we are happy to work with you. Okay, so
maybe you don't need this.
Let's welcome Kodo from Biscay Startup Bay.
Okay, firstly, thanks to everyone, especially to Startup Fukuoka, and later to Fuso and our local startups, which are trying to show you how our ecosystem is. And I think that it's a very good opportunity from the two sides of the world, because now we are in the morning, you are in the afternoon, but we have to work together in this aim of creating this kind of bridges from the different parts of the world. So firstly, thanks for the effort to everyone. And I will try to show you what the Biscay Startup Bay is. And I think that you have been talking with Esti and Ivane from our side in creating this bridge. So I would like to thanks to them as well. So what? Okay, and thanks for the presentation, because from our side, we have been following the Fukuoka strategy for several years. So congratulations for your presentation and for your effort to try to create this kind of startup ecosystem. So Biscay Startup Bay try to show you just to try to very tight in the timetables. I want to try to give you like a little flavor about what we are trying to do here. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Okay, what we are. We are in Bilbao, in Biscay, in the Basque Country. We would say that we are in the north of Spain and the south of France. Actually, we are one of the most important metropolis in the south of Europe. And when we are talking about Biscay and Basque Country, we're not talking just about Europe, we are talking about LATAM as well. I think that we can offer you this possibility to create this bridge between not only in Europe, but in Latin America as well, because in the case of the Basque people, we have a very important diaspora in Latin America. So I think that one of my message to Fuso and to Fukuoka is that not only think in Europe, think in Latin America as well. And I could say that as Biscay, as Bilbao, we are very well positioned in Europe. As you say, we are talking about more or less 80 million people around us. The technology is not going very, very fast, sorry, because I am managing the stick computer. I don't know what's happening now. Okay, what we're trying to create here. When we talk about the Biscay Startup Bay, we are talking that we are going to create one of the most connected ecosystem in the world. So this is the reason why we are very pleased to work with you, with Fukuoka and your company. And when we try to summarize our ecosystem, that we are just 4 pillars. Firstly, concentration, and in the presentation is Ivane from PwC, which is the operator of the tower. We have rented like a public administration 10,000 square meters in the center of the city, in the downtown, to create this entrepreneurship hub we call BAT. And this center is going to be operated by PwC, and the idea is that, as you have mentioned previously, in Fukuoka, where the tower is the place where startups, VCs, and corporates are going to be there. Secondly is connection. For us, the connectivity is one of the most important issues of our ecosystem, because we believe in this collaboration, in these bridges. So this is the reason why previously I told you that being in Bilbao, being in Biscay, you are going to be connected not only to Europe, you are going to be connected to Latin America with South Summit, to US, because we have agreement with, we have a very long relation with the Boston ecosystem, and now we are talking with Austin as well. And the other part of the world which we are working with is Tel Aviv. We are very close to this ecosystem as well. So when we are talking about Biscay Startup Bay, we are talking about connectivity. Second is multi-corporate. I think that in this case for Fuso could be very interesting, because we believe we have developed one strategy inside Biscay Startup Bay about open innovation. We believe in the open innovation, and we believe this relationship between the corporates, as Henry Chasberg says, in the two sides, outside in, inside out. We work with Henry. I don't know if you know Henry. Henry is the father of open innovation, and we are member of his European network, and we are trying to implement in Biscay Startup Bay all of the Henry Chasberg philosophy. And fourthly is the tax system. Biscay, the government of Biscay, which we belong, STNI, have the tax power. It means that we have the power to collect all of the taxes, and we have the power to regulate the direct taxes. It means personal income tax and corporate tax. And we have developed one entrepreneurship tax regime to promote the entrepreneurship and innovation. And I could say that probably we have one of the best a tax ecosystem to promote open innovation and to promote entrepreneurship, and especially in R&D. It means that if you are a tech company, the place to develop your development in Europe should be Biscay. Concentration, as I told you previously, and Ivane could talk more than me in this case, we are creating this lighthouse, which we call. It means that we are going to host here. And Ivan, if you can explain in 1 minute, because we have just a very few minutes. Yeah, so you can spend. This is Ivane, and Ivane can spend in 1 minute what is the main, not only the goal, that the real activity of the tower, which we call tower.
Yes,
Ivane?
Actually, as Koldo said, it's all about getting startups, companies, investors, etc., all connected, where there's a physical place actually where things are going to be happening, because we'll have events, matchmaking activities, acceleration programs, startup scouting, etc., and everything will happen in a place, but in a place which is connected to more than 140 spaces like ours. But apart from that, with partners like Fukuoka and etc. So this is going to be a space in which people will be working there, but in the end we will try to make connections between the people that are here and that are outside our center. So we'll have a different services that are differentiated in terms of if you are, I know, like innovation demander or an innovation offerer. So for corporations, we have different services. For startups, we give different services. For investors, we have different services. Technology and R&D centers. And talent, okay? We'll be also connected to universities network, talent cities as yours. So, I mean, it's gonna be a matter of doing this kind of things, both inside the center and outside the center.
Okay, thanks, Ivane. And actually, this is your place as well. So this is for you as well. Yes. So the idea is to be connected.
Yeah, and you can come to visit us whenever you want.
Probably if we are going to, this is very confidential, but in September, we are going to open the center. So you are absolutely invited to come here. And I think that could be a very good opportunity to create the bridge. We will send you all the information because for us, it would be an honor to host you in the day of the inauguration, a very important day for us because we started with this project 3 years ago. So and I think that the most important issue is that now it's the governor project. So it's one of the most important strategic projects in government of Biscay. So the other pillar was connectivity, just in 3 minutes. Connectivity, as you say, when you are talking about Bilbao, you have to think globally. It means that you are going to be connected to the other side of the world. You are not only connected to Biscay, to Basque Country, to South of Europe. You are going to connect it to Europe and to Latin and the US. Multi-corporate, I told you personally that we have here more than 20 companies connected, working together in this open innovation philosophy, under this open innovation philosophy, and especially in 3 main sectors: energy, mobility, and fintech, and one oriental industry 4.0. So I think that we have a lot of things to do together. And unit tax system, it means that we have our tax system. We work like from the tax perspective, we are like an independent metropolis from the taxation because we have this power to regulate the direct taxes, and we collect all of the taxes. And we have created the unique system in the world with tax autonomy and regulatory capacity, thinking in entrepreneurship. So we have been able to package everything depending of your role in the entrepreneurship ecosystem. So we're talking about the founder and employees with equity. We are talking about corporates. We are talking about companies. In R&D, we have one of the best taxation in Europe. So it means is your companies would like to develop R&D in Europe, the place could be Bilbao, Biscay. Secondly, for investor, for venture capital, because as Ivane has said, it's very important, the finance and talent impacts. So this is our idea. I have been able to fulfill the time. So finally, I would like to thank you, your effort to connect your ecosystem with our ecosystem. And I think that is the best. This is the first step. And I hope that the startups or the tech companies which are going to pitch later is one of our best companies in the mobility sector. So I think that they are going to be a very good ambassador of our ecosystem. So thanks everyone. As we say in Basque, eskerrik asko.
Thank you so much for your presentation, Kodo. Thank you so much. Okay, so now I would like to introduce Toshiki-san from Mitsubishi Fuso.
Sorry, it will be Alex.
Hello.
Alex? Oh, sorry.
Yes, no problem. So Toshiki is also from our organization, but I'll be speaking very quickly here, just to give you a brief introduction on who we are as well. So let me know once you can also see my screen, and then we'll get into that. So first of all, I'd like to introduce myself. So I'm Alex. I'm the head of the business and product innovation team in Mitsubishi Fuso. And we're part of Daimler Trucks specifically. And I want to give you just first a little bit of background on our company. And afterwards, I'll jump into a little bit speech in terms of what we're looking into and what we're expecting. And then I'll hand over the floor back to all of you. So in terms of us, so we are actually part of Daimler Trucks and Buses, which is one of the largest commercial vehicle manufacturers in the world. We have a variety of brands across different markets. So today, of course, we're talking about DTA, which is Daimler Trucks Asia, and specifically Mitsubishi Fuso. But that being said, we are part of this larger group that has quite a long history in automotive, both through the Mercedes brand and as well the Fuso, Freightliner, Western Star, Thomasville Buses brands. So we're really pretty much everywhere in the world. But our focus today will be on MFTBC and Daimler Trucks Asia. So what we are a truck and bus manufacturer based in Japan, with production plants also in India. We have over 10,000 employees, generally per year, depending on if there's COVID or not, around 130, 150,000 units sold. We're the first electric truck manufacturer in the world, and we are also in 170 countries in the world. So at a very quick overview, that's who we are. In terms of who we are in Japan, we have several facilities here. Main one being our headquarters and plant, which happens to be in Kawasaki. This is where we produce our engines, our transmissions. We assemble our heavy and light duty trucks here. So the majority of the business flows through this facility in Kawasaki. Also in Japan, we have a couple of other production facilities. So both in terms of bus manufacturing, a little bit further out, as well as gear and transmission manufacturing, also a little bit further out. Also, what we have from our side is we have one of the largest test courses here in the country, in Kitsuregawa. Here we have about 14 kilometers of test course, very modern facilities, different types of paths and tracks to test different things. And that's very quickly who we are in Japan. So let me stop sharing my screen and then go a little bit more into the basics here of what we're trying to do. So first of all, also after that introduction, I want to thank everyone that's here today. I really appreciate you taking the time to be here. From our side, of course, we want to thank the partners here. So Fukuoka GSC, Biscay Startup Bay, B Accelerator Tower. Thank you for your great cooperation and coordination to make this event be a reality today. Also, thank you to the startups that could attend and that have, I'm sure, very interesting projects to show us. So thank you, ePower Labs, Advance, Virtualware, and Next Machina. Really appreciate it. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what it is that all of you have been working on and seeing what kind of great ideas you've come up with and where would the possible fit in terms of partnership be with MFTBC, Daimler Trucks Asia, and eventually Daimler Trucks overall. In terms of background, so as you all probably know, this is a huge time of change periods in the automotive and truck and bus industries. All these case technologies, so connected, autonomous, shared, and electric, are pushing change at a rate we really haven't seen in the industry since its inception. And of course, as automotive makers, we can't do this alone. The rate of change here is not only extremely rapid, but it's also outside of areas of our natural proficiencies. So here, this is why we exist as the initiative Fuso Green Lab. We are trying to reach out to startups like yourselves or other external innovators that have creative ideas, and trying to see how we can bring that back to our company in terms of partnerships and how we can grow these ideas together. So putting together what we have as a company in terms of our locations, in terms of our existing business, our production facilities, our testing facilities, our expertise, try to see how we can support you and each other to grow these new ideas. So that's a little bit what we are in terms of Green Lab. And we also, of course, have a website. Some of you, I'm sure, have seen it. We have connection points in terms of if you're interested in pitching us, which you're doing today, but others as well. That's always available to contact us through there. Also on that site is a little bit more about what we can offer in terms of helping you in terms of partnerships. So as we mentioned a little bit earlier, we have these facilities in Kitsuregawa, for example, this test course. We have a bot lab here in Kawasaki. We have a quality management lab with state-of-the-art tools to test materials. And of course, the various expertise that we've developed within our company over now 90 years. So the goal for today is really to start our outreach to the startup community. So we've been doing this now for about 6 months. So we're trying to continue this outreach to search in different areas where different creative minds are. And that's to find mobility solutions. So basically anything in and around the automotive industries that could be relevant with what we're trying to do and what you're trying to do. And to find ways that we can be sustainable partners. So in conclusion, with your help today, we think that we were able to, and we're looking forward to, achieving a better life for people on the planet, looking into innovations, and then moving on to the next steps of the automotive industry. So with that said, very much looking forward to hearing your pitches.
Thank you so much, Alexander. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's start the main session, the pitching. So please welcome ePower. Are you here? Have a advance. Okay, let me check.
Hi, you have mentioned
okay,
advance.
Great.
Do I start then?
Yeah, would you start?
Yes, please just give me 1 minute because
yeah, sure,
I was the second one.
Yeah, it's starting, so it's starting.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, well now, hello everybody. Good morning and good afternoon for our colleagues in Japan. Just let me share my screen. Just a moment, please. Okay. Okay, now it's already on the screen. Okay, well, thank you very much. My name is Elvira Leon. I am the CEO and co-founder of Advanced Manufacturing Technologies. I'm really glad today of introducing our project today for you. Our idea comes from many years of experience of the founders in different industrial sectors. And we have experienced the high cost that means warehouse maintenance and everything related with logistics in production and also in spares for aftermarket in industrial sectors. And we have suffered also, what means that any critical part could be non-available at the moment. And that means thousands of euros of losses per day or even more. So there is a high dependency on global supply chains that makes for the industry to overstock between 10 and 50% is something that is very common. But in situations of supply chain crisis, sometimes even industries overstock up to 200%. So in this scenario, what we propose is the reduction of warehousing and logistic costs, and also reduce the capital that is tied up as inventory, but that without increasing the risk of stocking out of critical parts and reducing this risk of a crisis in the supply chain. Then our solution provides traceability and quality in on-demand manufacturing, and also enables the model of licensing IP for manufacturing by third parties without compromising industrial property. And we are totally aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals of responsible production and industry innovation. Yes, a brief introduction. We are a technology-based startup founded in 2019, and we develop solutions and technology for the industrialization of on-demand manufacturing. We are a team of engineers and technologists specialized in manufacturing processes, as I say, with a strong experience. I will introduce the team later. And also experience and with a strong background in digital technologies. So, we have had support from different institutions up to now in these 3 years, from private companies and also from public institutions. We have been awarded very recently as an innovative small company by the Spanish government as well. So what's our mission? What we aim to provide to our customers is an end-to-end support for the creation of digital inventories and the implementation efficiently of on-demand manufacturing. So depending on the situation of the customers, we provide support from the initial stage of consultancy, digitization, etc. And in those customers that are more advanced on the technologies related with on-demand manufacturing, we provide solutions, technological solutions for management of digital inventories, and also even provide the manufacturing cells that can be used for this purpose, manufacturing in the field. So I will present also briefly the team, and then I will introduce the solution that I think that is the important thing here today. Well, we are 3 founders with, as I said, with a strong background and experience in industrial sector. We are 3 engineers with experience also in management. We have worked in automotive, mobility, aerospace sectors. We count now with a strong team for development of our solutions, and also we count with advisors that supports us in different areas, even with a strong and very broad experience in automotive sector and in operations in this field. Now I want to introduce our proposal. It's an hybrid solution, software and hardware, and we provide everything that you need for manufacturing just with one click to manufacturing, when you need and where you need as well. We think that is very important. The software solution is a digital warehouse that collects all the complete information of parts and also of the manufacturing process that have been qualified for that part. We provide also the solution to monitorize the complete process of manufacturing and also validation of that parts to provide the regulatory compliance and make possible that parts can be certified, and provide also the traceability, the digital and physical traceability to make possible the business model that I mentioned of IP licensing. The solution of the proposal is complemented by autonomous manufacturing cells that can be located in the specific point of use when there is not a local supply chain that can support these manufacturing services. And then in different models of customizable containers, I would say, we integrate all the equipment for manufacturing, finishing, inspection of the parts, and fully integrated with the software to manufacture with full traceability, with full quality, and that's with a very easy operation in the local field, because everything is monitored remotely and everything is can be traceable, and it can be operated by technicians with no specific skills in manufacturing, in inspection, so everything is already managed remotely. Well, I took the opportunity today to suggest some ideas of collaboration, but we are fully open to any other suggestion or need that you may have or you may imagine now that you know what we do. Well, we could work, for example, in a pilot project of digital warehouse for spare parts in aftermarket for Fuso vehicles, for example. We have already worked in this kind of projects with other mobility companies. And well, the added value that we provide is this traceability and also this process monitoring that make possible the qualification and certification of parts, and also the possibility to licensing the IP and manufacturing by third parties. And also this could be also taking further this collaboration on making operational manufacturing cells through Fuso vehicles. That is something that already has implemented, at least as a pilot concept, Daimler Truck and buses. So that is why I have added the image here. So with these cells, with this concept of this potential pilot project, we can provide the added value of making possible the manufacture of spare parts for Fuso, and also a service for third parties or other companies. Maybe a different business area or business model for you, but always providing full connectivity, full traceability that could make possible this idea and this innovative concept of manufacturing on demand and in the place of use. So yes, a couple of ideas. So I think, well, I have taken my time. Thank you very much for your time in just our, something that we like to say that you're welcome to the factory of the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your presentation.
Maybe you have any question that I have gone very quick, very fast.
Thank you for your presentation. I was wondering how to control the quality of the product production.
Yeah. Well, we support this on-demand manufacturing mainly, but not only on additive manufacturing technologies. So this is a special process that requires the monitoring of key parameters of each of the process to guarantee the quality of the final parts. That is something that is already implemented in the standards that are developed for this kind of technologies. So our platform, our software, provides this monitoring of the critical parameters and the value that has been already collected in the digital warehouse. And then we provide the real-time monitorization of these parameters. That is something that is already needed to certify according to different standards, and we can do it through our platform once it is fully integrated with the equipment. And we also work in this integration. We already communicate with many different equipment, many different brands of manufacturing equipment, and then we provide the real-time monitorization of these critical parameters.
So do you have any question, Are, about Toshiki-san?
Nothing from my side. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Nothing from my side either, no.
Hi, Elvira. Thank you very much for your presentation. I have two questions. One on, as you mentioned about quality. From what I understand and from my experience, fatigue is quite a big issue in car manufacturing. How many times it runs, or how long it's used until it breaks. And is 3D printing, I guess it's 3D printing in a container, right? To say it very rudely, I'm sorry, but it has technology, or is the material and the process at a level where, you know, fatigue is not an issue? And secondly, I guess, yeah, just to make sure, this autonomous manufacturing cells, this is a lot of 3D printers in a container, which is can be placed remotely or wherever the client can desire.
Okay, I will answer to both questions. First, the first one is that that's correct. There are some critical parts that require or has high requirements in terms of fatigue or impact resistance and this kind of thing. So what we used to do with our customers is, in this initial stage, identify what parts can be produced in this scenario with the available technologies with 3D printing, or in some cases other technologies. We also integrate other technologies in our cells, but there is already now some technologies with 3D printing that can support also fatigue requirements, but that has to be qualified before adding this part in the digital warehouse. So once it is qualified that it can be manufactured by this means, then it will be integrated in the digital warehouse, and the process that will be followed to manufacture that specific part will follow all the parameters and full process that has been already qualified. That is the concept of digital warehouse. It's not just a repository of digital files. It has all the information to fully certify that part. So there are some technologies that can support these kind of requirements, but not all for sure. So that is addressed in the initial part. And in your second question, that's right, we integrate different technologies of 3D printing, also different technologies for machining and for finishing the parts in these containers. The configuration of the equipment is customized to the final needs of the customer and the operational needs that will have that specific cell. And that is why we wanted to develop this solution open to different technologies and to different providers of these technologies. So we work in the integration of these different machines, I would say, but it is open to be configured.
Okay, thank you. I'm so sorry for interrupting, but it's because of the time. So we will discuss with Fuso, then we'll get back to you after this event.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much. So now we'd like to welcome Bataware.
Good morning, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Share my screen. Here we go. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we do.
Okay, well, first of all, nice to meet you. Hopefully we'll meet in person soon. I'm David Moreno. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer with Tawera. I will give you just a brief introduction of the company and the solutions we offer and the different projects related to the automotive and transportation industry that could be quite interesting for you. First of all, we are a virtual reality company. We've been like almost 2 decades in the industry. We started 18 years ago here in the Basque Country in Bilbao. 3 people just left the university and created a company. We started in the Basque Country, but for instance, in 2011, we moved and we spun our services to the UK. In 2013, we moved to Mexico, Chile, and Colombia. So something that Coldo said before, it's quite interesting that from here you can reach out very easily to the Latin market, and we are an example of another company from the Basque Country. And in 2018, we opened offices and delegation in Toronto. We have 3 people there just to reach out to the US and Canadian market. Last year, we were acknowledged the world's innovative VR company in the VR Awards. The VR Awards are the main virtual reality awards worldwide. And right now, some of the customers we have worked during these 2 decades, and we are working with 500 companies, big corporations. For instance, in Asia, a couple of years ago, we worked with Petronas, that you may know, offering different immersive solutions for the oil and gas plants. And today, we work with General Electric Hitachi. And actually, a couple of years ago, some people of my team, they went to Tokyo to a nuclear plant that Hitachi had there just to implement some of our offerings. And then they have some of the logos in the transportation and automotive industry. We work with Alstom, with Jaguar Land Rover, for instance, with Faurecia, which now it's Forvia. Key tech and industry alliances that we have, one of main of them are tech related here. Unity, it's a listed company in the US, is one of the main 30 edges for content of VR immersive content creation. Actually, I'm part of the government advisory board solutions in the US, Microsoft, Siemens, Autodesk, and then some more hardware manufacturers in the VR industry, which are Pico, Vive, Meta, previously Oculus and Facebook. In regards of verticals and different associations, we are part of National Center for Simulation in the US, in Orlando based, mainly focused to the defense industry. Actually, we are working with the Spanish Ministry of Defense, with the Spanish military head school for some of VR training for different NATO processes. Actually, we are part of NATO as well. And in the automotive industry in Canada, later on, I will tell you more about the project. We are part of the Automotive Auto Parts Manufacturing Association in Canada, which is leading their initiative as Canada as a company of, as a country, sorry, of the new Canadian electric auto. And then the BI Association, which is the main tech immersive association worldwide. And actually, I'm the co-chair of the enterprise committee. So very, very connected with the tech industry. Some relevant media coverage. Last year, as I mentioned before, our knowledge of the world's innovative VR company. 2 months ago, one of our solutions, we have a patent in the US and in Europe as well. And then the second version of the VR platform, which is our main solution right now. Until 2 years ago, we were creating on-demand content across industries. VR simulations for training, solutions for design review, but following an expansion strategy, we thought that the best way to accelerate VR adoptions to grow was to create a VR platform called Viro. So today, with Viro, we offer companies an accessible way to start with VR. And actually, in 2019, when we launched this new platform, we were awarded as the VR Enterprise Solution of the Year. And just a little brief introduction with the video, so you understand a little bit about what Viro is, and later on we'll tell you more so you better understand it. Just a video. Okay, so as you've seen, have you watched on the video, you can create, manage, and deploy in one unified platform. That's the idea. So the good thing and the main thing about the second version that we launched a couple of months ago is like you can create multi-user and remote collaboration ready sessions. Okay, so for instance, you are one of your tracks, you are reviewing a design, you can have in the same virtual reality environment using a PC, or a headset. You can have people from Fukuoka, from here in Biscay, and from Mexico, and even from the US together in the same virtual reality environment, just exploring and reviewing that design in that session, or even for training purposes, you can have the same setup depending, it doesn't matter where you are based, or it doesn't matter if you're using a PC or a headset. Let me show you another video to represent this as well. This is not the video, sorry. I missed this one, sorry. This was not the video, sorry for that. Well, let's move forward. The good thing about Viro as well is that we offer some built-in tools for Unity, which is the main 3D engine, as I mentioned before, for immersive content creation. And that's for companies that even would like to start with VR. They don't have, maybe the team or the knowledge to do so. These are like building tools so they can start creating these contents. For instance, an example, I have a CAD file of my track. You can import that CAD file in Unity, you export that to Viro, and then you create a session, and then you have the opportunity to review that design or train your team using that CAD file. That could be an example. You can import that CAD file as well, and you can add some actions. For instance, if you click here, you change the color. If you click here, you open the door, that kind of things. But easily, in 1 hour, you can have your CAD file in a remote collaboration session for review design or for training. That's the idea. if you have, a team or people. Actually, a couple of months ago, we released a call for creators because we are looking for small VR companies that would love to leverage the VR business with these tools. If you have the ability to, you will be able to create even very impressive and complex content. But this is mainly for companies that maybe have started with VR and they would like to start creating content. And one of the main things about the deployment, as mentioned before, you can deploy your VR content to the platform in a PC, which is very, very important, although this is a VR platform, in a HMD or in large-scale multi-user immersive room. Here, you can recreate lifelike scenarios. Imagine that you are indoor here, where you are based actually, and you can move freely in that space, and you are with your headset, and you can see, in virtual reality, that track, that part of the track or whatever, and train your people, review that design. But it's like you are really, really there. Very realistic simulation. And finally, the Project Aero, we are involved in this, I think, breakthrough initiative worldwide, led by the Canadian government and APMA. We had an agreement with Invest with Windsor Essex, which is the main virtual reality partner for this project, mainly to use Viru to deploy the VR content in a VR cave that they have, and also in HMD's PC, having the possibility of bringing people worldwide to experience the new electric car that they are creating. And actually, initially in January next year, they should be releasing the first physical electric car for Canada. And that's all, quite short, quick, and open to any questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Thank you. So, Alex, do you have any question?
Yeah, thank you. So Dennis, so that last slide, I didn't quite follow. So what exactly, how are you supporting this concept car?
The Windsor Essex Economic, they are releasing and showcasing the car because there is not built yet, using a VR cave, okay, a VR environment. And what we are doing is like using Viru, they can deploy that VR content that they are created into that VR cave, okay, which is located in one of the offices there, very close to Detroit in Canada, in Windsor, and to deploy that even for people that are worldwide using our platform with that multi-user remote collaboration feature.
Okay, but so, I mean, the way I see it, is it more a marketing thing to be able to show people the vehicle?
Case, for them, it's a marketing thing, but in the whole, the whole members that are participating in the project, you have manufacturers, and they would like to, because they are seeing this is completely new for them. They haven't heard about this before. They are seeing this as a tool for review design, not only for this project, but also for, their cars, for instance, to review the design of that, of the future, concept vehicles that they are creating, not only this one, and also for training the people before even it is, being manufactured.
Okay, do you have any kind of training use cases that you've already worked on or are working on right now?
Yes, in the automotive industry, a couple of years ago, we worked in Mexico for Asia, okay, in the automotive and transportation industries. And actually for Atif, which is the Spanish railway manufacturer, we are working with in a 1 million contract. We are creating different immersive rooms with different VR simulators to train their workforce. And in the energy industry, for instance, the main use case that we have is General Electric Hitachi, based in the US. It's the nuclear business unit of the Big E. They are using our tool to train their people on one side. Actually, we created a fuel movement simulation for them. We created a nuclear reactor, and actually it's like a physical asset that they use for fuel movement, and we connect that physical asset with the virtual reality environment. They are also using this to review the design of, they were awarded a contract in Canada, like 6,000 million Canadian US dollars and they are using this for review the design of this new small boiling water reactor concept. And again, they are also using this for marketing purposes in the different nuclear associations events they are attending. So it's like you can use this only for training, for review design, for marketing, for research, and even in the healthcare industry, they're using this for drug discovery. It's like a tool, so you can implement any kind of visualization in VR that can help you in your internal process. And our idea with the platform is like, okay, this is something accessible, and we, in our our visions, like we can convert this and standards the same that you can have Revit or CAD or Autodesk, whatever. This could be a solution for virtual reality creation and deployment as well.
Okay, understood. Thank you. Maybe last question, if we still have a few minutes. I know there's a lot of VR solutions out in the marketplace. How do you differentiate yourself from the other ones?
On what the most important, actually, 2 weeks ago, we went to AWE, which is Augmented World Expo, one of the main, I think the main tech expo, immersive tech expo worldwide, based in California, the US. One thing, this is multi-user and remote collaboration ready. We were with our competitors discussing there, that were in the event, and they were only focusing on single user, okay, and actually only in VR. For instance, only using a headset. And we know that this for companies today, you need to give them, the PC deployment as well. And the third one, the possibility of deploy that VR content in large-scale multi-user environments like the immersive room that like you have already seen in some of the pictures. So those are like the three main key differentiators and benefits from the industry. That's the solution. And as a company, 2 decades, I don't think you're going to find more companies like us with that experience in creating content and different awards that we had for the solution, and actually last year being the most VR innovative company of the year.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Sorry,
I took a lot of questions. Did anyone else have any others?
Actually, it's time, so it was like perfect. Thanks.
You have my contact there, and actually, if you would like to reach out to me with any more questions, I'll be glad to answer them. Thank you.
Perfect, absolutely.
So after this event, we will discuss with Fuso and get back to you. Thank you so much. Then next one, we would like to welcome next Machina.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, my name is Jonathan. I'm the International Business Manager here at Next Machina. I'm with Sylvia, the CTO of the company. Still answer any questions you may have at the end. First of all, I would like to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to pitch. Now let me share the screen. Can you see my screen?
No, we cannot.
Not yet.
Can you see it now?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. So, Next Machina, as I'm sure you already know, we are a digital transformation company. We digitalize other companies through wireless technology. So inside of the Industry 4.0, we implement the so-called Internet of Things. We create an IoT ecosystem through sensors, connectivity, hardware, and our Iot Cloud Platform in order to collect, send, and act on data. Out of all the frequencies you can see on the screen, we do this mainly through LoRa or LoRaWAN radio transmissions, so low power wide area networks. This would be the characteristics of using low power wide area network technologies. So low energy consumption, wireless is to install and simple solutions. There is a wide range of technology providers and the possibility to use both public and private networks. One of the main benefits of applying this kind of technology would be competitiveness. So obtained through quick deployments, autonomy, and high replicability solutions. As said, there is a wide range of technology providers with a wide range of products and solutions. So this prevents having to engage in custom hardware development for each company, which makes the process way quicker when deploying them. Now I'm going to briefly walk you through the architecture of the technology we implement. So here on the left, we have the actual digitalization solutions we want to achieve. So the ones the company wants to achieve. We get to this, as we say, as I said, by first installing sensors and the gateways that are going to give these sensors connectivity. Then you would have to decide whether the data collected by the sensors is stored, where the data collected by sensors is stored, either in our servers on the network or on your premises. That is 100% up to you. This usually depends on the sensitivity of the data, the amount of data, or the technological level of the client. And finally, here on the right, we've got IQmanic, our IoT Cloud Platform. Through this platform, you'll be able to engage and visualize all the collected data. And it generates, as you can see, alerts whenever they're needed. So now I'm going to go through some of the solutions we thought might interest you. However, as every project is different, we are able to provide multiple solutions. The solutions would depend on your actual needs and how much money you're willing to spend on them. So we've got preventive maintenance of motors. I'm sorry, this in Spanish, it says vibration inspection on 3-axis. That would be, for instance, 3 different ways of looking at or measuring vibration of any of your machines. Then we also implement luminosity control or temperature and humidity control. Also control of electrical panels, consumptions, and presence of voltage. And tracking geolocation of assets, machinery, and people. So like real-time location and monitoring of anything physical you can think of in your factories. This would be some actual examples of some of the solutions we have given to companies on the automotive sector here in Spain. So we implemented different smart methods in Mercedes for fluid, gas, air, etc. We've also done luminosity, environmental conditions, and supply chain traceability in Michelin here in Spain. So that's a French tire manufacturing company. This would be the vibration sensor I mentioned before. We've implemented it in different factories too. And we've also done like fully digitalization processes of this, for instance, is a car part painting factory here in the Basque Country. They weren't using any digital processes, and we did a full digitalization process for them. And that would be all. Thank you. I've tried to be as brief as possible.
Thank you so much for your presentation. So,
do you have any questions?
You can go first.
Yeah, so maybe first question, I'll keep to one for now, and if anyone else, and then if not, I'll go after. But one thing I didn't understand, so do you connect sensors with your technology, or do you make both the sensors and the connectivity product?
Well, our solution is the wireless technology. We use LoRaWAN, it's an open protocol. And we don't make the sensors. We have a big portfolio of LoRaWAN sensors and devices. So we get all we need from the market. So we are specialists on deploy the network and to give to the client the solutions, all solutions with the software and the data. So we deploy the network and we give the data ready to manipulate it.
But so, for example, if we're not using the right type of sensor, then you can't connect to it and then digitalize it, right?
Sorry?
If we're not,
Yeah, it
go
would
ahead.
depend. We'll have to see the sensor and see if we could connect it to our platform. Otherwise, we would tell you which sensor would actually work for both for you and to be connected to the platform.
Yeah, well, sometimes when a client has a need, we give the correct device, and sometimes they have machines with PLCs and so on that doesn't have connection, but we have gateways, LoRaWAN, and devices that can connect their machines already automatized with our network and with all the ecosystem.
Okay, understood. So you have a standard, and then if not, you can study it and decide if it can work or not.
Yes.
Okay, understood. So that was my question. Anyone else?
Hi, Jonathan. Thank you very much for the presentation. One question, I saw that I guess the LoRa or LR-WAN is low power and can transmit in long distances, but is there any limitation as in data speed or data volume?
Well, there are, but we are working with data and small packets. So in our network and ecosystem is not really a problem. I mean, we monitorize machines that maybe they send a small payload. The band is not a problem in this case. LoRaWAN fits really well with this kind of problems and solutions.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So as of now, we don't have the questions. So yeah, we will discuss with Fuso, then I will get back to you for the next step.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now I see it power up. So yeah.
Yeah. Hello. Good afternoon all. And
so because of the time, so I'm sorry, but we would like to shorten your pitch time for 5 minutes. Okay. Then 5 minutes for the Q&A session. If we need any additional discussion, then we can do it later after this event. I mean, another day.
From our side, if we need to go 5 minutes over, it's fine. I don't think we necessarily have to cut them short. So I think we're fine to stay the original time that they're allocated.
Yeah, sorry, but here in this spaces, we have some limitation. Today is a big event behind us. Sorry. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much. I will share the presentation that we prepared. So try to be very brief and very to the point. So we are a power electronics company which are involved in vehicle electrification. So from Fuso, that Fuso is also very deep dive on this topic. We see that the automotive industry is challenging a very fast change to electrification, and this sometimes is also challenging for big companies. We from ePower Labs try to help our clients to be agile, innovative, and to build new traction technologies to help these big companies like Fuso to be fast in this electrification path. So basically, we are based in the Basque Country. We are 15 people, and we are already working with industry OEMs and leader companies. So the challenge is clear. There are many vehicles to develop in the following years, and talent is scarce, solutions are not flexible, and technology is evolving very fast. And there are many decisions to be made, but few time to make it. So sometimes for large corporations, agility is key, but not easy to have it. As you know, in vehicle electrification, both in batteries or fuel cells, power electronics is increasingly important, and there are a lot of components which has to be integrated in the vehicle so the whole vehicle can function. So this is one of our products, the electric motor controller. As you may know, it's one of the most important components in the vehicle. So our specs are almost matching or even above industry leaders' technologies. So We are also implementing a lot of very advanced software, so these products can be state-of-the-art and help our clients build their electric vehicles. We also design these products to be modular, since vehicles, sometimes in passenger car, other times in light-duty or medium-duty vehicles, need different type of voltage ranges or specifications. We try to do modular variants so we can be agile and fast in doing these products. So what is our proposal, or how do we see that we could work with Fuso? We saw that it is public information that you are working with a tier 1. We are seeing a big interest from OEMs to develop internal capabilities and do co-developments with specialty engineering companies. So, for example, we could take your current products, go to the test bench, see how does it work, see improvement opportunities, and try to work in co-development or other type of collaborations so we can see how to improve your current traction systems. Very brief about our company. We are a company founded by people that have worked in the industry, in main tier 1s, OEMs, and also engineering companies. I am the CEO, Miquel Peral, also founder of the company. We are 4 founders, all coming from the industry. And we do also have an advisory board with a lot of experience in tier 1s and big industrial companies in Spain. So we were founded in 2020. Our target is in 2022 to be 20 people. Indeed, we are opening a Series A round. So yeah, this is going fast, and there are a lot of things to do in electrification. We do also have other products in the pipeline. Mainly right now we are focused with the electric motor controller, but we see a lot of demand from fuel cell vehicles. So we are preparing ourselves also to offer DC-DC converters, which we feel that there are not so many alternatives in the market. So, a couple of examples. We are working with.
I'm so sorry for interrupting, but because of the time.
No problem. Just examples. We are working with bus manufacturers and train manufacturers. So thank you.
Miquel, thank you for your presentation. Alex, and I'm quite sure that you want to talk to Miquel more. So I would propose that maybe we don't need any Q&A session now, but we will arrange a separate meeting that we can discuss more. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, we'll look at it a little bit internally, and then we'll also make sure that we have the right expert here, who I think was not able to attend. So let's schedule it with the right round of people. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like your event is starting yet. We would happily go a few more minutes to go through this, but if not, understood.
Yeah, we just want to secure the good enough time to have a deep understanding. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Miquel, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, and thank you very much.
I like Talgo. That's why I have interest in the product.
Great.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so thank you so much for your participation today. So after this event, we'll send you the feedback form. So your feedback is very important for us to improve our online event. So we'll be appreciated if you could fill out the form. And if you have any additional questions to Fuso, Biscay Startup Bay or Global Startup Center, and of course for the startups, please share your comment, your feedback, your question on the form. So thank you again for joining today's event. Okay, moving.
Yeah. Muchas gracias por la participación por ese evento. Nosotros, nuestra equipa, sabremos japonés, inglés, y chino y castellano. Si ustedes necesitan, pueden escribir a nosotros en castellano también. Muchas gracias.
Hi, thank you so